Welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe and press the notification bell. 2025 Confederate Hellcat, expanded to the 2025 Confederate Hellcat, is not just a motorcycle. It's a declaration. A full-throttle symphony of rebellion, power, and mechanical artistry that exists entirely outside the boundaries of mainstream motorcycling. In an industry increasingly leaning toward digital refinement, connectivity features, and plug-and-play safety systems, the Hellcat does the exact opposite. It rips the digital comfort blanket to shreds and replaces it with billet metal, raw horsepower, and a riding experience that's equal parts fear and euphoria. To truly understand the Confederate Hellcat, you have to step away from spec sheets and dyno charts for a moment. This bike wasn't built in a lab with marketing algorithms guiding its form. It was forged with soul, designed by minds who still believe motorcycles should be felt, not merely ridden. The 2025 Hellcat doesn't ask you to ride a car, it demands that you earn the ride. It's loud, unapologetic, brutally powerful, and unapologetically analog in a world that's trying to go fully digital. Let's start with the first thing you notice here: the presence. When the Hellcat is parked, even in silence, it radiates aggression. The stance is low and menacing, with a visual mass that feels coiled and ready to explode forward. Every inch of this bike is carved and milled like a functional sculpture. The billet aluminum frame is a masterpiece in itself, a precision CNC machined, exposed and polished to a metallic brilliance that almost makes you question if you should ride it or display it behind glass. And yet, this isn't a delicate art piece. It's a war machine with curves, edges, and attitude. A machine that looks like it was pulled straight out of a dystopian sci-fi film and dropped into the real world. But this bike isn't about just looks. The core of the Hellcat is a massive 2,163cc air-cooled V-twin engine, a behemoth of combustion force. You don't just start the engine, you wake it up like a slumbering beast. As the pistons thunder to life, the whole frame pulses with energy. The idle alone feels alive, like a heartbeat reverberating through your legs and up your spine. And the sound, a deep, guttural, aggressive ear, announces your arrival before you even roll an inch forward. Twist the throttle, and the Hellcat responds with instant violence. The torque is staggering, enough to make seasoned riders grin nervously and newbies drop their jaws. But this isn't senseless power. It's tightly wound, explosive power that demands your respect. The Hellcat doesn't babysit you with electronics. There are no ride modes, no traction control, no stability programs. Just raw, unfiltered mechanical response. It's you and the machine, and whatever you ask of it, it delivers with brute force and zero hesitation. But here's the paradox: the bike is not just raw power and chaos. There's an intricate elegance to its engineering. The suspension setup, usually race tech or high-end performance-grade components, offers a surprising level of ride sophistication. It's fully adjustable, letting you dial in preload, rebound, and compression to suit your riding style. Whether you're carving through fast sweepers, tackling sharp urban corners, or cruising down a highway like a futuristic outlaw, the Hellcat adapts. It's heavy, yes, but it's balanced. The front-end feel is direct, the turn-in sharp for a bike of this size, and the stability at speed is reassuring. The chassis design is clever. Confederate's unique frame geometry, long wheelbase, low center of gravity, rigid construction creates a ride that feels stable yet responsive. It's a bike you ride with your whole body. You lean into turns with intent, you throttle out with calculated confidence, and you feel every bump, every vibration, every feedback from the road surface. It's engaging in a way few motorcycles are anymore. Braking, too, is nothing short of spectacular. Massive dual front discs paired with high-performance calipers provide commanding stopping power. But what's equally impressive is the feel: a strong, progressive bite, great modulation, and no dead zones. The rear brake, often ignored in lesser bikes, is sharp and functional here, giving you additional control when you need it. Again, no ABS, no computer assistance. Just pure rider skill matched with mechanical precision. And let's not overlook the craftsmanship. Confederate, or Combat Motors as they're now known, builds these machines almost like watchmakers build timepieces, one at a time, meticulously, obsessively. Every weld, every bolt, every milled component feels intentional. Even the smallest details, to the custom levers, the leather saddle, the instrument cluster, are hand-finished. No two Hellcats are exactly alike. When you own one, you're not just buying a motorcycle, you're taking delivery of a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. A collectible that begs to be ridden rather than stashed away. Even the instrument panel echoes this philosophy. No flashy TFT screens or touch interfaces. Just the essential data you need, laid out in a minimalist, analog fashion. You don't get lost in menus, so you focus on the road, the engine sound, and the feeling. Riding this bike brings you back to the roots of motorcycling, when it was all about sensation, not simulation. Of course, a bike like this is not practical in the conventional sense. It's not a daily commuter. It's not something you take on a weekend trip with saddlebags and heated grips. The Hellcat doesn't cater to convenience, it's made for visceral thrill. It's a bike you ride when you want to feel everything: the wind, the speed, the road, the risk. And if you're the kind of rider who lives for that, the Hellcat becomes more than a machine, it becomes a partner, a spirit animal, a personal rebellion in two wheels. Riding the Hellcat is an event. People stop and stare. They ask questions. Kids point. Older riders nod in respect. Car drivers roll down their windows just to hear it idle. It draws attention not with flashy decals or gimmicks, but with presence and sound and aura. It's not just a ride, it's a show. And perhaps the most fascinating part is what the Hellcat represents in today's world. While the motorcycle industry rushes toward electric power, self-balancing tech, and AI-assisted riding, the Hellcat screams in the opposite direction. It's mechanical, analog, visceral, and that's exactly its magic. It's a reminder that not everything needs to be streamlined and softened. That chaos, power, and unfiltered experience still have a place in our riding lives. Owning a Hellcat isn't just about owning a bike, it's a lifestyle choice. It's about choosing the harder road, the louder ride, the wilder path. Maintenance is hands-on. You'll need to care for it, understand it, keep it tuned and polished. It asks for your time, your patience, your mechanical intuition. And in return, it gives you something most motorcycles can't: a soul. And yes, let's talk about price. The 2025 Confederate Hellcat isn't cheap. It's a premium, boutique machine with a price tag that makes most production bikes look like toys. But this bike isn't for everyone. It's for the few who want to ride something truly unique, something that won't be parked beside 100 clones at your local bike meet. It's an heirloom machine, something you pass down, not trade in. So who is this bike really for? It's for the dreamers. The renegades. The riders who want their motorcycle to be more than transportation. It's for those who crave emotional connection, not just technical perfection. It's for those who want their ride to be a declaration of identity. If you're the type who looks at a conventional bike and thinks, that's not wild enough, then the Hellcat might just be calling your name. The 2025 Confederate Hellcat is a motorcycle that lives in extremes. Extreme design. Extreme power. Extreme craftsmanship. And yes, extreme emotion. It's not a bike for everyone, but for those who get it, it's not just a bike. It's a heartbeat, a war cry, a rolling rebellion. And in a world that's becoming quieter, cleaner, and more controlled, maybe we still need machines like these just to remind us what it feels like to be truly, recklessly, beautifully alive. Thanks for watching, and wait for the next video.